Cropsel, a hardworking real estate broker at REMAX Alliance. Whether it's residential or commercial, Van is dedicated to helping you find or sell the perfect property. Van, you're the man. For a sparkling clean you can trust, call Nettoyage Diamant. From residential to commercial spaces, even windows, they do it all with care and precision. Call Nettoyage Diamant today.
Welcome back to another season. I'm excited for seasons.
Look
New
at that.
seasons.
Look at
New
that.
seasons.
Look, the only thing that's the same is the cup and your phone.
And me.
Oh yeah, you too. Whatever. I mean, I'm talking about the set. What are you?
I'm part of the set. Well, technically now. I'm part of the set.
Okay, I guess.
So, yeah.
Welcome back, everyone.
I'm so excited to be back.
I'm back. That's important.
I'm back. That's more importanter. That's not even in proper English. But it's okay. I'm so excited to be back with the Let's Talk It Out for another season. I love all the people that I have lined up. And I do have a lot of people lined up, which I'm really excited
so much
about.
Fun.
So on this particular episode, this I had the real pleasure, and I'm so happy because we used to work with him way back when we were doing a series, and I had the pleasure to speak with him again for this episode, which I'm really psyched about. He had a lot to say. He's very funny. Mr. Giuseppe Meleca, who is an MC, comedian from Toronto.
I'm upset that I wasn't able to be on that Zoom.
Yes, I feel your
he's such
discouragement.
He's a really awesome dude.
He is.
He's super nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. No, he's awesome. He really is awesome. And I would have liked to have been there, but you know, my schedule was a little busy and stuff like that. But how was the Zoom? Like, I mean, obviously we're gonna watch it now, which is amazing. How was the vibe? Because we worked together. So how was the vibe after, you know, it's been what, a couple of years we didn't.
It's been a few years, not a couple.
Yeah.
It's been all.
How was the vibe?
It was comfortable. It's as if it was day one on the set, and of the series I'm talking about that we did. And he's very genuine, authentic, and it's funny because what you see and the person that he is, it's the same but different. And he's just a very down-to-earth, genuine person, full of talent. And in the interview that I had with him, he goes through certain, obstacles and difficulties in his life, which he does mention. And I'm not going to say it. I'm going to wait till everybody watches it because this one is definitely something you need to watch. And you see that he came out a stronger person. And that is what I admired. And with that, he explains a lot more about his projects and things that his ambitions and when he'd like to come back, when he's going to be in Montreal again. So there's a lot of stuff that he really opened up about, which is great. And it's always good because when you're on the set, there's so many people there, you really don't get to have that one-to-one. But now I had the one-to-one. So it was pretty good.
Wow, that's and hey, we don't mess around. When we start a new season of Let's Talk It Out, we hit.
We hit hard.
It's
hey, what is that swing?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You never heard that before? You never watched Ferris Bueller, eh?
No. Okay, there you go. Well, it was about 38 years ago I watched it. So
I liked Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Okay.
Yes.
Good stuff.
So, it was definitely a treat, I have to say. And it was nice. It was nice that he even dedicated the time because he's busy and he has a lot of stuff going on.
Super busy and super funny.
Life as well.
What a super funny dude.
He is.
And nice, genuine, nice.
Yeah, absolutely. To the core.
Yeah.
It's not hidden. Like you can tell what you see is what it is.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. So I really hope that everybody watching enjoys.
Well, let's go watch it and then we'll talk about it after.
Everybody, it's Lisa for another awesome, amazing, extravagant, incredible episode of Let's Talk It Out. And I'm very happy. I love all my guests. I love doing this show because I get to meet different people. But this one is uber ultra special. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I had the pleasure of actually being in the presence of my guest. He is extremely ultimately uber talented, hysterical, genuine, sincere. And I had the pleasure of working with him on our mini series. Our series of Likumbari, which was a complete blast, and I'm so honored that you actually accepted to do that. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce a friend of mine who I consider very, very sincere and sensitive, Mr. Giuseppe Meleca. How are you, Mr. Canadian entertainer, comedian, producer, and event MC? How are you?
I'm great. I'm glad everything I told you, all my adjectives. I'm glad you described them all. The
I
list
did.
I gave you. That's
I
very
did it
nice.
right. I did it
Yeah,
right. Okay, good. Sometimes my memory as you age, you know what I mean? In the book of the
yeah,
elevator
but
gets jammed going up, but you know, I try to do the best I can. How have you been?
I've been great. You had mentioned the show, the You Can Body. That was very important to me, that show, because we just started filming just in the beginning of COVID,
Yep, it's true.
and I, I didn't know what to do with myself. As a comedian, all these things you described, producer, nothing was happening during COVID, and
Uh-huh.
yet somehow we found a way to record during that time. And
Don't get arrested, you said.
oh yeah, we actually did run that risk a few times, but it really helped me a lot to say, hey, I'm a part of something. And then I don't know if you had mentioned in that big intro of that I actually live in Toronto, and the show was filmed in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave me that chance to hop in the car, hop in the train, and zip over there and
Yeah.
shoot these scenes, which was a bit of an acting debut for me too, because I've been in a couple small clips in here and there, but it really gave me a chance. And then we got a little creative when you needed a little video from me, and you would give me instructions, and I
Yeah,
would film it like on a phone or looking in the mirror or something along those lines, and with nobody in front of me, I'm like, okay, I'm hoping I'm getting this right, and it kind of worked out. So I want to thank you for that.
Oh no, thank you. I mean, I think it was absolutely amazing. And we even made the trip down to Toronto ourselves.
That's
Remember to
right.
come and see you to start filming in the park. And
Yeah, the park near my house. Yeah, I kind
yeah, I
of
knew your house. Where was that, by the way?
that
We
was
don't
well,
know where
it's
your
in
house is, but
Etobicoke,
the area.
Etobicoke, which is a borough of Toronto, right? And then that park was Raymore Park, which was very close by.
It was, eh? It was a
Yeah,
beautiful area, by the way. It was a nice day too. I think we got lucky we got no rain.
yeah. We got no rain today and yesterday in Toronto. It was blistering heat.
Hmm.
Blistering heat. It's not normal for us anyway. And
Yeah.
so that was good. That was
Yeah, it
good.
was. It was, well, it's 43 with humidity here, just saying, okay? We're all scorching here. But it is what it is. Now let's get into you. What you've been up to, Giuseppe, the comedian, the MC, the event, the producer. Tell us about you, what you've done to get to this point, what you've been up to lately.
Okay. Well, lately, I just completed my the Springs set of my tour, which was the Decani Defani comedy tour. Decani is 10 year.
Yeah.
Defani, it's a play on words like funny, right? Just to make it rhyme. Because it was my 10-year anniversary in comedy. May 14th was my first show ever that I performed 10 years ago. And I got a little bit overzealous, and I picked a theater, like a movie theater that was able to rent out the space, and it had a stage. And I sold out 2 nights of 400 people without ever having performed comedy before. And Instagram back then wasn't the Instagram of today or the Facebook of today where we were making videos. I was just begging people to come to a show, and it kind of worked. And from that point, after that set of shows, which the two shows, I said, I think I have a business here, and I quit my job.
Oh,
And that was 10
nice.
years ago. And was it the most financially responsible thing to do? Absolutely not. But it was a good swim or sink kind of ideology. Like, hey, I got to do this. I don't know how anybody in the entertainment industry can do it part time.
Yeah.
It's very hard because when you have an opportunity to whether it's comedy, perform or an acting gig, you can't just say, "Hey guys, I can't come into work today because I got to go film a pilot or just try out for something."
Yeah.
Um, so I got a little gutsy and I did it. And luckily, 10 years ago, Instagram did allow 15-second videos just about a few months after I quit my job.
Oh
And
boy.
I started making funny videos, at least I thought were funny. And those videos got me around the world. So within 1 year, I was touring Australia and I performed in Montreal for the first time. And it was really good.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So
So,
lately,
yeah.
I've done the tour. Coming out of COVID was very, it was, something was supposed to last 2 weeks, ended up lasting for 3 years. Um,
True. Oh my
when
God.
COVID had ended, or it was ending, we saw some light at the end of the tunnel. I said, if I'm going to come back and hit the stage, I'm going to hit it big. And I decided to do an arena show back in 2023, which was probably the hardest task I ever done in my life. It was a 4,000 seat theater, not theater, arena, a hockey arena, and I just decided this is what I want to do, and it really taught me a lot on how to get sponsors and how to you know market to a bigger audience and have them convince them. I was marketing as far as Montreal, as you remember. I was reaching out to
Yep.
you. I was reaching out to so many.
Yep.
Hey,
I
grab a
remember.
group, put a bus together, whatever you could do. If you could come down, to come down. And yeah, my career has been always been like that. I'm always producing, trying to create different. Not. I don't want to just jump on a comedy show. Like I don't do like in Montreal you have the Comedy Nest, or
Yeah.
in Toronto we have like Yuck Yucks and stuff. I don't do that. I've never done that. It's
Okay.
something I've never done in 10 years. I just produce my own shows, and sometimes I'm on shows with other great Italian comics, and so it's worked out so far.
Excellent. So, where you see yourself from back then, 10 years ago to now, what do you think was your biggest accomplishment or what you've accomplished so far?
Well, like I mean, show wise, it was definitely the arena show. I mean,
Yeah.
that was a big deal. But even my first tour, which was actually so that Toronto show that I did at the theater was 10 years ago, and then my first tour was within a year. So basically by 2017 is when I started performing, and any comedian who says I'm touring Australia in my first year of comedy, that was a big deal, I guess, in the comedy world.
Yeah.
For me, I just thought it was like, this is what you're supposed to do. And so I've had a lot of great moments. I was reflecting the other day. I emceed because I also MC a lot. That's where Giuseppe the MC came from.
Yeah.
I MC a lot of events prior to quitting my job 10 years ago. And I've was reflecting because 2 nights ago I emceed uh, a night where John Cicada, which is a singer, if
Yeah.
you remember him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I introduced him on stage, and I was like, "Did I just do that?" And then, a couple years ago, I introduced Umberto Tozzi on stage, and then, if I like look at the list of amount of people that I've been able to introduce on stage, um, it's actually an extensive list. And so, um, when you ask, what do you feel you've accomplished? Like things like that, like that's like to me, it's a big deal. I get goosebumps that I introduced John Cicada the other day,
Yeah. Oh
right?
my God.
Umberto Tozzi, like, hello, right? So, um, you know, this is where I'm leaning my career back into.
Hmm.
Um, I realized after my 10-year anniversary in comedy that comedy's not comedy comes in waves, like in your mind. Like there's some comedians that write comedy constantly. They push the buttons a little bit. I'm more of a clean comic, so
Yeah.
most of my comedy has to be cut in half because I try to perform like with no language and clean, no nothing dirty or anything like that. Um, and so sometimes you're just like I don't have anything to say on stage. So, you're like, okay, you're writing material, you're thinking of material, and then, but sometimes something will pop up and you have like an hour of material
Yeah.
from one idea. So I'm at a stage right now where I want to start leaning back into the emceeing, just starting to do bigger events, more festivals, and my real goal. I know I'm jumping back and forth a little bit here, but
Okay.
my real goal is to eventually be like a talk show host or a game show host. That's my ultimate dream.
That's great. The Family Feud.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
something like that. Yeah, I have an idea called "Du Prezzo Giusto," which is Italian Price is Right,
Yeah.
and all the contestants would be nonnas, like grandmas, and they have to guess the price on, like, bleach and sugar and
Oh my God.
flour and which store to go to depending on the sale, and
Oh, the coupons.
and but it's it's in the works. I'm trying to get a big wheel made, the plinko board, like the whole. I'm gonna rip off the prices right. Hopefully they don't find out. Yeah,
Oh my God, that's funny. That's
yeah,
hilarious. I love that idea.
yeah, yeah.
Was there ever a moment that, let's say you're on stage, could it be a comedy or could you, when you were emceeing, that you blanked out? Like, was there ever a moment that you actually stopped and said, "Oh crap, what am I supposed to say now?"
You know what? Yes. Because especially myself, I'm very scripted.
Yeah.
So when I do a 1 hour show, it is the exact same words from like the first word to the last word.
Yeah.
It seems I make it seem like I'm doing it like on the spot, but no, I'm not a crowd.
That firsthand.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not a crowd worker. So crowd workers are those who have no material and they just go out and say, "Hey guys, what do you do for a living?" And then they just make up jokes from there. I
Yeah.
wish I'd like to get to that point one day, but no, I'm not a crowd worker. So there has been points where I'm just like, "What's next?" And then I'll like regroup by, like, I'll go get I'll drink some water, and then I'll think. And then what I tend to do is I tend to place my jokes on people's heads in the audience.
Oh,
So,
nice.
like, yeah, so I pick a few people that I feel like I don't know them, but I feel like they're I call them my anchors. So when I have to regroup, I look at them for a second and I pull myself together,
Okay.
because either they have a bright smile or they have great eyes or something.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter, guy, girl, whatever. And then I literally put like a joke on their head and put a joke on their head and put a joke on their head. So if I'm really lost, I got to kind of look at somebody and I'm like, hey, okay, I know where I'm going with that. And then I'll tell them, like, when I do the meet and greets afterwards, because I
Yeah.
tend to meet everybody, hopefully if they stick around. And I'm like, hey, I just wanted to let you know you were my anchor. You're one of my anchors tonight. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, did you catch me looking at you a lot? Yeah, I kind of did. It was a little creepy. I'm like, yeah, I was just kind of my jokes.
So you have experience now selling out big arenas and big venues.
Yeah, yes. But, it comes a little bit from, I guess, lack of better terms, popularity,
Mm,
but it's still a grind. You're
yeah.
still contacting people, DMing people, reaching out to people and saying, hey, you coming to my show? Okay, great. Can you bring 10, 20 people? It's not just like, hey, are you coming? It's, hey, are you coming? Can you bring 10 people?
That's it.
I'd like to get to the point where it's not like I don't need to do that. There's other comics that are extremely popular and they just put on a show and it's sold out immediately.
Yeah.
And I'm not jealous of them. I'm a little envious, meaning I'm happy for them, but I kind of wish that would happen with me as well. But at the same time, I've come to realize after 10 years, this is where I'm at. I'm okay with that. And if I got to hustle, I got to hustle. And I'm okay with that.
Exactly.
I like the hustle.
Now, what's the one thing, or what's your legacy? Like, if you stop today, what was one thing, or what is one thing, maybe it's more than one, that you would like for people to remember you by? You being an MC, you being a comedian, and if so, why?
I'd prefer the comedy side. I mean, the emceeing is a job to me.
Hmm.
Um, and when I do MC, it's comedic, but it's not a memory that lasts other than the people. Let's say I MC a wedding. So the couple remembers, the family remembers.
Yeah.
I try to be more of what kind of comedian am I? And is that the legacy I'm leaving? So, like I said earlier, I'm a clean comic.
Yeah.
I want people to be comfortable to come to a show with their parents and their children
Okay.
and say, hey, you know what? Giuseppe put on a great show. He really touched my culture because I'm a cultural comic. I talk about, mainly being an Italian child, and it leans a lot towards the Calabrese, my dialect, right?
Yeah,
My
me
my
too.
culture, right? You lean more towards that, and just I always want people to go home and say, you know what, Giuseppe put on a great show, and we were comfortable, and we were happy, and he made us remember our roots, and the biggest thing that's come out of my comedy is, even when I'm having the worst day myself, is when somebody messages me and says, Giuseppe, I came to one of your shows. I was going through a very tough time in my life, or I
Oh,
saw some of your videos and I was going through a tough time. And I just took a break and looked at your stuff and it made me laugh and it got me through the day.
mm.
That to me is worth more than any of the money I've ever made in any of my shows. And that's what I hope I can leave out there is that, you know what, that guy really made me feel better when I was going through a tough time.
Well, I mean, I totally agree. And a lot of people, they need that laughter. And I found during COVID, especially, a lot of people needed that laughter. But you yourself had gone through, quite a heavy ordeal as well. So the fact, how is it that you're able to consistently maintain that positive mindset? Um, is it through your comedy? Is it through reflecting on where you've been and where you want to go? What is it that, based on your hardships that you faced, kept you moving?
I've I've learned to compartmentalize my issues.
Okay.
So I went through a lot. Firstly, in 5 years ago, I went through a separation,
Yeah.
which was challenging. And then 2 years ago, well, basically a year ago, my son had um, caught cancer. He had osteosarcoma, which is basically a cancer of the bone,
Yeah.
which is what Terry Fox had. As a Canadian, we all know Terry Fox.
Mhm.
And so, we had to amputate his foot. We had to go through a lot of cancer treatments and so on and so forth. And today he's doing fantastic. A year later, he's doing fantastic. He's learning to walk with his prosthesis and so on and so forth. But yes, it was very challenging times between my separation and between my son and so on and so forth. And, saying earlier,
Yeah.
you learn to compartmentalize your issues because at the end of the day, this is my job. Um, when people are going through a tough time, they still got to go to work. They still need to show up. They still need to, process the day.
Yeah.
And if you just wallow and grieve and cry all the time, you're not getting anything done.
True. True.
And I I found that using comedy helped me get through a lot more of it. So, with my son, he was going through hell, and I
Yeah.
said, "Hey, let's make some funny videos about it. Let's joke around that you are going through this." And it helped me process what was going on, and helped him, and helped others to say, "Hey, you know what? They're going through a tough time, but they're able to laugh about it." Because at the end of the day, uh, Lisa,
Yeah.
whether you cry or whether you laugh, you're gonna get the same results. So you might as well laugh about it. You know what I mean? Whatever's gonna happen has to happen regardless. So if you just cry about it all the time, you're not gonna. It's just gonna be worse. So if you could laugh about it
Yeah.
as much as possible, I mean, obviously you don't laugh when
Yeah.
you
You're
hear
not
this.
gonna laugh 24. Like
Yeah,
welcome to
yeah,
laughing,
like here, like
Giuseppe.
hey, this, oh, it's funny. But if you can, find that lightness, then you'll be able to get through it better.
I totally agree with you. I couldn't imagine, and you showed so much strength, and your son shows amazing strength, and I'm so happy that he's doing so much better. I'm happy that things have really, really gone into a very positive direction. When you're looking at your work and you're saying that you use life examples, do you only use these life examples? Like, how do you, would you present this in one of your, let's say, skits or one of your present, I guess, your performances? Do
Uh,
you use this, or do you hone more on the positive aspect, or you take a negative and say, you know what, I'll incorporate this into my show?
well, all comedy comes from negativity.
Oh,
So a
interesting.
real like so if you know that symbol where there's like a happy face and a sad face,
Yeah.
and it's like the faces of basically comedy, and it's called comedy and tragedy.
Yeah.
You cannot have comedy without tragedy. You think of any topic, listen to any comedian,
Yeah.
and it's coming from a tough time. Whether it's you know, people are not happy with, let's say, the U.S. president right now. Well, they make fun of it. I'm just saying, right? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
look how much comedy is coming out of that. COVID was a very tough time for everyone.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Horrible. So I made videos about how my parents wouldn't let me into the house because they thought I was rubbing up against people.
Ah,
They wouldn't give me. I'm like, hey, ma, I need some sauce, and she would hand it to me with a mitten. They wouldn't let me. We weren't allowed to eat on the same floors. Like we found, Christmas time when the things are starting. COVID started like in March, and by
yeah.
the time Christmas time, everybody was tired of it. So everybody was lying and saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna stay home." But meantime, how does an Italian family not have all their, how was my mother not gonna have all her kids over? So we
Exactly. Yeah.
so we basically, I made a video about how my mother was speaking to me in English, saying, "Hey, don't come over." But then she said, "Hey, come over in Italian, but come through the back. We're gonna eat in the basement." I'm like, "Mom, we're not allowed." She's like, "Shut up, we're gonna eat." So you always find comedy come from that. And my last tour, this one that I just did, my the Chat of the Funny, it heavily reflected on what was going on with my child.
Yeah.
And I joked about it. I joked about, I told everybody the seriousness of it because there was a component of that tour was I was giving money to the war amps, which helped my son a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I told stories about how my parents reacted with my child and the weird things they would say to my child, like which is the most inappropriate things at the time. And you're like, "Ma, pa, don't say that to him right now." And then you think, "Ma, that was the funniest thing I ever heard." Like if you step back. So yeah, for all of everybody who's watching this video, look at all comedians, listen to their stories, and you think that came from somewhere.
Yeah, that's it. But you like to delve into the Calabres because I'm Calabrese, so I could
Yeah, yeah.
definitely identify with everything that you're doing, especially the skits when you dress up into your nonna and
Oh,
yeah,
my mother. It's my
your
mother. It's my
mother.
mother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, how is it? Like, what had inspired you to come up with these skits? Like, were these just spur of the moment? I need things to do. Like, what is it that was in you to say, have to put this out?
So okay, so let's go back longer than 10 years. So 10 years ago was my first show. And just prior to that, when I was doing emceeing, I was emceeing a lot of weddings.
Yeah.
I would always have a little routine at the wedding about how the son is now leaving the mother.
Okay.
So I was talking to the groom. So I'd be on the mic. So I'd go to the groom and say, "Listen, you've heard all these sappy speeches about how much, how the parent speeches and the sibling speeches and the best friend." I'm like, "Okay, let's get down to seriousness. You're leaving your mom. Your life's over. Like you have nothing great's going to happen anymore." And then I would talk about, and then I started using my mom's voice at weddings. So I like, raise the pitch of my voice. I can do that. And, and I would be speaking in Italian to my mother at a wedding, but my mom, it's me, right? And so then when I did my first show, it came from how my mother, uh, uh, it was my sister's wedding, which I didn't MC, but I did the brother speech.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I'm going to give them a speech that they'll never forget. And I did a speech about how my mother loves my brother-in-law more than me,
Oh God.
my sister's new husband, right? And so at that speech, it was a 25-minute speech in Calabrese, and it was me and my mom talking the whole time, but it was me. I was changing my voice up,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how
Oh my
she
God,
would, like,
that's
I'd
funny.
say, "Ma, why are you doing this for him?" And she would tell me why, and so on and so forth. So then that gave me the idea for the show that I did 10 years ago. Fast forward.
Yeah.
Um, and that show was specifically about my mother. It was an hour and a half only about my mother. And I was speaking in English and Calabrese the entire time. That show was about 40, almost 45% in dialect.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah. So I was basically setting up the joke and then I would change my voice and then so on and so forth. So then when I said earlier about how Instagram allowed this switch over to 15-second videos and then they ended up becoming 1-minute videos, I was testing the waters. I just quit my job because I'm like, oh, I'm a comedian now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I got to get online here. And I was doing these calabrese phrases of the day, like, you know, these one word lines that no one would understand other than a calabrese. And then one day I just said, you know what? I need my mom for a video. And I actually told my mother, I go, Ma, I need you in a video. No, no, no. I got to do my hair. So I was begging her for like a week. Please, I need you in a video. I got to film. And then I just lost it. And I go, Ma, forget it. So I had a wig. So the wig that I wear was a wig that I usually wear when I go to like a disco party. I had a wig and I had a mock, you know, those like spardale, like with the zipper there or whatever. And I shot this video.
Oh, it's good.
And this video was basically the first video was of me, my mother calling me saying, hey, can you come over to eat? I'm like, oh, I don't know, Ma. The doctor said I can't eat certain things. What are you making? She said, I'm making pasta. And I said, no, Ma, the doctor said no pasta for sure. And then she says basically, oh, why, you don't love your mother anymore? And I'm like, oh, okay, Ma, I'm coming over. You know, and that was all in Calabrese.
I love
And
it.
so that video went like, I call it Calabrese viral. It wasn't viral, but it was Calabrese viral. It was
Viral.
like, yeah. It would basically, instead of getting tens of thousands of views, I got hundreds of views. I'm like, oh, wow, this is interesting. And I remember I gained like 38 followers. It was like a big deal. And so the next day I did another one and then another one. And I would make sure I released one once a week. And then I realized Saturday mornings was the best day to release a video. And I started doing more. And then I started incorporating my kids. And then I started putting translations like you know, like the captions.
Yeah.
Because I realized that not everybody understood what I was saying. And when I did the captions, that's when everything changed.
Yeah, that's what
Because,
they say. Yeah.
yeah, because the captions, remember, I was speaking Calabrese. And remember, my Calabrese is different than your Calabrese,
Yeah.
you know, because we have different regions and such. And so I said, okay, let me put the translations. And then, you know, it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I did this one video just before my first show in Montreal, which was no, not before my first show in Montreal, but the first time I went to Montreal to start setting up my first show in Montreal.
Okay.
It was a video called Where Italian Kids Go Shopping. And it's basically me pulling up to the house, and then I walk in and my mother's frying some cutlets on the stove. And I say to her, hey, Ma, I'm just here to grab something. And I go into the basement with a basket, and I have a shopping list, and I'm just grabbing everything out of the cantina, like, you know, lupini, supertate, like all kinds of stuff, whatever, sauce,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then I came up, and she's like, hey, are you hungry? I'm like, do you want to cotoletta? I'm like, yeah, sure. That video got me around the world.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
That's the first video that on Facebook, within a week, hit 1 million views.
What?
And this was like almost a decade ago. And that was a big deal. So yeah, that video is the one that got me around the world. People were back then, anywhere I went was, hey, are you the guy who made that video about going shopping in his mother's cantina?
Oh, that's great.
Yes, I'm that guy. And that lasted like a long time. That lasted for like 5, 6 years. People were saying it to me.
That's incredible.
And from that one video, I sold out my whole Australian tour. One video.
No. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Like
That's
obviously my other videos too, but like
yeah.
that one there was the one that was like
It resonated because that's right.
resonated.
That's old school. When you're from a traditional Italian family, that's especially Calabrese. That's what it is.
That's right. That's right. And then after that video,
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram changed all their algorithms. So
it's making too much money. Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't making any money in Canada. We barely make any money on these videos, but it was just they changed the algorithms. It wasn't any more like consecutive order. They were moving things around.
Yeah.
And so a video that I know was just as strong had not hit the same amount of views.
Oh.
And, you know, they were trying to make money. That's when they started introducing ads and all these things. And, oh, do you want to boost this, boost that? I don't want to boost nothing. I want it natural.
Yeah.
I want it to be organic, as they say. And, but luckily I put out that video just beforehand. So
amazing.
it kind of worked out.
So, Giuseppe, when people want to see you, where can they find you?
Well, I mean, my website usually has an update of where my shows are if they want to physically see some shows. So it's Giuseppe the MC, the like THE
Yeah.
MC, Giuseppe the MC.com. But on all social, it's all Giuseppe the MC. So if you prefer Instagram, if you prefer TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're looking, you just type Giuseppe the MC and you'll be able to find it.
You're very consistent, Giuseppe.
I got lucky. I locked that in.
Sit domain Giuseppe the MC. It's gonna be a new page, a new domain name. Giuseppe, thank you so much. We're
No, thank
already
you.
done. I can't
Yeah,
believe it. It was like 40 minutes.
I talk a lot.
Yeah, because I'm surprised you didn't do more of the arm flares.
You noticed I cut my hair.
I did. The blue streak is gone.
Yeah, I had tall hair, and then the during COVID I cut it off, and then I grew up in this like afro kind of curly thing. I did my big show, the arena show with that, and then I cut it all again, and I had it tall again. And just about 2 weeks ago, I'm like, I'm done. I'm finished.
Oh,
Now. After
nice.
my tour ended, I'm like, enough of
Finito.
this.
Finito. You dropped the mic.
That's right.
Thanks so much, Giuseppe. It's always a pleasure. You know what? Keep in touch with us, like the group,
Absolutely.
because it's always good to network, and maybe we'll revisit you again another time. Not maybe, we will revisit you
No,
again
I would
another
love.
time. And because I know Steph wanted to be on, but he was busy tonight. He wanted to be on, but next time for sure we're gonna get him on, and we're gonna have another discussion to see where you're at. Probably next week. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see where you are
But
next
when
week.
when my game show is ready, I'll call you so we can set it
Yes,
down.
I want to know. I want to know. Definitely. I hope I'm a contestant, huh?
Yeah, well, you gotta be a nonna for that.
I could dress. There's
Hey, sure.
costumes.
I
Costumes.
have a wig.
I might look my age, but I really feel like a nonna. Anyways, thanks so much. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Giuseppe, awesome. Everybody, check him up on YouTube, all the socials. You will definitely not regret it. He is absolutely hilarious. And as you can see, a very humble and genuine person. Thank you so much, Giuseppe. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Have a good evening. Wasn't that amazing?
What a dude.
It was so memorable. I have to say that was a memorable conversation. And I actually, when we stopped filming, we were still on the phone and we were still talking and talking. And he was actually walking around his house while we were still talking. We were like catching up and, what are you in? Like, what's going on right now? What's happening in Montreal? And he will have other shows, I'm sure. So people should check it out because he's definitely somebody that you'd want to see. Honestly.
Yeah, he's a funny dude.
Yeah.
And we hope you enjoyed that because you know what? He's such a nice guy. If ever he's in Montreal quite often, but if ever you're in Toronto and he's doing a show, you've got to go watch him. He
sells out.
Something else. Yeah, of course he does. Of course he does. Of course he does.
And he also does those little Italian skits. And actually, one of my
with
colleagues,
his parents.
one of my colleagues at work, she actually showed me one of his skits where his actual father is in one of the roles and he's trying to read a laundry detergent bottle. And he's trying to spell it out, and you hear Giuseppe laughing in the background for how hilarious, and it is funny.
It's funny.
It is funny. I mean, little old Calabrese, like it's funny.
I love it. I love it.
I love it too.
Lisa, what's in store for Let's Talk It Out this season? What are we looking for? What's coming?
Surprises.
Well, besides surprises, I know. Can you give us a sneak peek to make people want to come back and watch every week?
No.
What the fuck?
Okay. Watch every week. Well, there's going to be a lot of diversification, diverse people on. Now, I love acting. I love anything in the arts, but it's not necessarily just art associated. So it's going to be multiple walks, multiple milieus, and I think that's what the beauty of it with the Let's Talk It Out is. Like, there's a lot of people that maybe you don't know, maybe you do know. But in the end, the fascination of whatever it is that these people do doesn't change. And that's one thing that I admire about the podcast, is that I meet all kinds of people.
Well,
and I've reached the 5,000 friend limit, which is Wow.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk it out.
Let's
I mean, we've got a child, not a child sensation, but he's a teenage sensation. Like, he's got 6 million followers. So we're not going to name the names now, but 6 million followers. He's going to be coming up in a couple of weeks, I think. We've got some interesting people coming up and interesting talks. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited. It's going to be a good season. Of course, as you can tell, the new look, we don't mess around. The TV screen in the back with the logo. Look at that. The lamp.
I'm going to pull a Vanna.
Look, the lamp.
This is the TV.
The lamp. I said the lamp 3 times. There you go. The lamp. But the cup and the phone is still the same. That's where all the...
Well, you need a bit of nostalgia.
Right.
Okay, you need a little bit of nostalgia and something blue. See?
Awesome.
Something old, we have Annie. And something blue.
Fuck.
And something blue, which is this.
That was not nice.
I'm sorry. No,
That's
you're
all
not
right.
old.
I am.
You're just festively young.
Archaic, but
No,
whatever.
festively young.
Sure. Ish.
I was gonna...
Gotcha.
You
Okay.
gotta check it out of my mouth.
Awesome.
Anyways, okay, guys. So thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I know you did. I already know. I'm like a psychic, so I know you did.
Awesome.
So tune in. There's a lot more to come. This season actually will be full of awesome, juicy talk.
Whoa. Okay.
That's what it is.
Awesome.
Catch you soon.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.